Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. Iran just hit a hospital in Israel with a missile in a town called Beersheba. And because nobody died, as far as we can tell, there were some injured, I'm going to allow myself to say some things that I otherwise wouldn't. And that's that Israel and the people that have been defending Israel for the past 18, 19 months, they're not just damaging their own humanity, they're damaging ours. Because the media has been trying to downplay the murder of 50,000 people for the last 2 years. They've treated it as something that we all just have to accept in the name of Israel and the West's political agenda. And so we've all become heavily desensitized to this stuff because we've seen atrocities on our TV screens and on our phones for the last 2 years. And I have to stress, everybody who is on the right side of history on this takes the position that we do not want people to die, whether they are born in Palestine or born in Israel, because a child who was born in Palestine or Israel did not choose to be. The centuries of conflict over that land is not something that the children chose to be born into. And while yes, most decent people devote most of their energy in this topic opposing Israel because as the occupying power, they hold the upper hand and they're one of the most powerful militaries on the planet, as evidenced by the fact that before October 7th, 87% of the deaths in this entire conflict were Palestinian. And so we condemn Hamas for their attacks on civilians, but in the way that you'd condemn somebody who was kept in a basement and tortured for years, and when they finally break out, they kill everyone in the neighborhood. Because while we understand that oppression breeds extremism, we still don't want that extremism to hurt innocent people. And in fact, it has always strengthened our case to take the firm position of no civilians should be targeted, because otherwise, if we don't take the firm position of no civilians should ever be targeted, we allow Israel's defenders to say that under the right circumstances, they had to do these sorts of things. But bringing it back to today, the main thing that stands out to me after Iran hit this hospital in the news stories that followed is comedy. For starters, you have Iran saying that they didn't really mean to hit the hospital, but there was a military base just next to it, and that's what they were really going for. Israel says no such base exists, but this entire thing is laughable in the context of an entire war happening in Gaza, where Israel's been saying for the last 2 years that they don't mean to attack civilians, but there's a military base just underneath those civilians, to the point that it genuinely feels that that statement from Iran is trolling Israel. Then there's Israel coming out and calling Iran Nazis for committing the atrocity of bombing a hospital, as if they haven't been bombing hospitals in Gaza for the last 2 years. And when they do it, they say that, oh, it's because Hamas embeds itself among civilian infrastructure, so they have no choice. As if this isn't an Israeli Iron Dome missile launcher right in the middle of a city. And you may have caught the Israeli ambassador to the UK on Sunday telling Laura Kuenssberg this.
We're talking about civilians being targeted. Israel is not targeting civilians while Iran is targeting.
But civilians have been killed in Iran.
As if she didn't say on LBC a couple of years ago that, yeah, they do target civilian infrastructure.
Every school, every mosque, every second house has an access to tunnel. So this is, and of course ammunition.
But that's an argument for destroying the whole of Gaza, every single building in it.
So do you have another solution?
Let's be 100% clear, I am not sat here saying that the Iranian regime are the good guys. We can all remember in quite recent years them kidnapping and beating to death women who don't cover their faces. There are no good regimes here. Hamas, bad. Israel, bad. Iran, bad. UK, bad. US, bad. Everyone who's on the right side of history is standing up for the civilians who are caught in the crossfire of governmental dick swinging. But that said, it is so obvious that Israel are the bad guys that people who come on TV to defend them are simply laughable at this point. I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.